Greetings. Welcome to another episode of the Insightful Living Channel, where myself, Stephen Harvey, licensed therapist, just comes on here to share about different obstacles that I see in my therapeutic practice that come across my desk often, right? So I work with clients to overcome issues in their personal life, their professional life, their romantic life, children, families, okay? So today, matter of fact, you can look me up on psychologytoday.com or helptoadjust.com, the agency that I currently direct and operate all of my therapeutic work through. So today, we're going to deal with a topic that comes up very often, right? And this topic is how to stay single but still happy and fulfilled. How to be single. In other words, not have a romantic partner. If you're a woman, not have a man. If you're a man, not have a woman. Just how to be single, not have a romantic partner, but still remain happy and fulfilled, not feeling lonely, not feeling like you have a void. All right. How do you do that? How to navigate that phase? All right. So some of my clients, if you're watching this, you know that I love the analogy of the oven versus the microwave. Now, typically, when dealing with eating a meal, which one is a more pleasurable eating experience? A meal that comes out of the oven, which takes longer, where your food kind of, that slow cook, that marination, or the microwave, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, it's quicker. You eat, you're probably not hungry after you eat, but the experience is probably not as enjoyable as a meal coming fresh and hot out of the oven, okay? Even the heat of the food oftentimes lasts longer coming out of the oven than in a microwave. I mean, that microwave, 2 minutes later, your food might be cold. All right. So I always say it's oven season. Stay in that oven. Okay. So let's get right into it. All right. Oftentimes when we date, we are, understandably so, we're very much interested in our partner. We want to know about them. We ask them questions. We want to know about their childhood. We want to know about their likes, their dislikes, what they're into, what they're not into, to see if there are, some areas where we can relate, right? So when you are single, so a lot of times people jump into relationships before going through that dating process with themselves. Before we can effectively get with someone else and have this fulfilling relationship, we must first have a fulfilling relationship with ourselves, okay? How can we expect someone else to enjoy spending time with us when we don't even enjoy spending time with ourselves? So that relationship has to be cultivated first. We have to practice treating ourselves great. We have to practice speaking to ourselves in a nice, pleasurable way, so that we are conditioning our consciousness to be spoken to in a certain way. What way is this? A pleasurable way, an edifying way. So that when we engage with other people, if they start to speak to us in a way that is subpar, substandard to how we normally speak to ourselves, automatically it doesn't feel right. So that'll probably be a situation that we don't continue to engage in. But if we often spend time with ourselves, berating ourselves, beating ourselves up, insulting ourselves, right? In our mind, internally, then when we get with someone else and they start berating us, devaluing us, insulting us, it almost feels natural. Why? Because our consciousness has been conditioned to be spoken to in that way. From who? From us. Right? So this video is just to help you navigate being alone and maximizing the benefits of that process. There are great, great, great benefits in being alone, just you and your thoughts. This video is to give you a foundation on how to feel happy and fulfilled with just you and your thoughts. Right? Once we get to that place of self-fulfillment, then guess who you are positioning yourself to attract? Someone else who is self-fulfilled. Because it can be very burdensome to attract someone who they have a void and they are dependent on you to fulfill that void, or vice versa. Someone, you get with someone and you got to fulfill their void, or they're getting with you to fulfill, a void, right? We don't want that, because it's already enough work to kind of address our own issues. All right, so it's a beautiful thing when you have two self-fulfilled people coming together to just make the situation bigger and better. All right, so number one, we're talking about how to be single but happy and fulfilled. Okay. Introspection. That means going into the depths of yourself. Okay, just like how you would be on a date talking to someone, again, like asking them questions. You want to find out about them. How do they feel about this? How do they feel about that? What's their position on this? What's their position on that? You want to start doing that with yourself. Ask yourself questions. Have discussions, insightful discussions with yourself. Ask yourself, how do I feel about this? What do I feel about roles and relationships? What's the man's role? What's the woman's role? How do I feel about money in relationships? What is my position on, how the money should be handled in my relationship? What is my feeling on parenting? What is my vision for the type of family that I want to create for myself? What kind of energy do I want to be pervasive in my household on a day-to-day basis? These are the questions you want to ask yourself. Okay? All right? Talk to yourself about maybe your spiritual stance, right? Cultural, political stance. Just the same type of interest that you would have sitting across the dinner table with someone else, questioning them, trying to find out about them. This is the type of discussion that you want to have with yourself. Asking yourself, wow, why do I feel this way about this? Why do I feel this way about that? All right? Questioning your feelings about certain things, getting understanding to why you feel the way you do about certain things. All right? So that's number one. In other words, another way that you can put it is date yourself. Go through that dating process with yourself. Okay? Get to know you. A lot of times, some of my clients, they're always in a relationship to distract themselves from getting to know themselves, because some people are maybe fearful of what they may find. All right? That's not good. That's not a sustainable way of living. Okay? Because what's going to happen is you're going to get into a relationship, not fully have a deep understanding of yourself, and that relationship is more than likely going to expose those aspects of yourself that you were not versed on, you were not knowledgeable on. What if your partner start asking you questions about you that you have not even delved into those areas within yourself? You're going to feel vulnerable. You're going to feel, you may get upset. You may start arguing. You may get a little disgruntled, aggravated. This is what I see. Because their partner is seeing certain behaviors and delving into a certain aspect within them that they have not even delved into. It's not a good feeling. So why not go through that yourself prior to augmenting yourself to someone else's life? All right, so that's number one. Date yourself. Learn about yourself. All right? Learn to just be able to sit and you and your thoughts and be able to laugh sometimes. Be able to have insightful discussions. Just be able to be at peace. All right? So that's number one. Learn yourself, date yourself. All right? You have to go through this process. Okay? So number two is, all right, why are you single? Why you're single? Okay? Prepare yourself for the type of relationship that you want. So think in your mind, what kind of relationship do I want? How do I want to engage with my partner? All right? What kind of partner do you want? Now, whatever kind of partner you want, you got to think about it in a reverse way. What kind of person do I have to be to attract someone like this? If I want a spiritual individual, very much into their spirituality, then you may have to be a spiritual individual yourself, right? Say you want someone who is not only spiritual, but very versed in business. So now you want to learn and see, how can I be a value add to someone who is high performing in business? Because what I have come to understand, see, I don't really like making videos that are like too much like gender specific. I like to just make videos that's, for both genders, right? But I'm just going to give this example. So let's just say in this particular example, right, a woman may want a man who is just winning in business, all right, rich, making all types of money, right? So that, hey, if you get with this man, young lady, you have no issues at all. He could take care of everything. But one thing I found is that all women are not built to properly have and just be with a man who is high performing in business. Because guess what? You're going to have to know how to sacrifice maybe some time that you may want with this man. Why? Because this man spends a lot of time growing his business. This man has a lot on his plate, managing people, correcting systems in business, managing money. Some women can't deal with that. Every woman is not cut out. Yeah, it sounds good to be with a rich man, but every woman is not cut out to be with a rich man, right? So typically, men that are rich are just, again, don't take what I'm saying just gender specific. It could be a woman too, right? But I'm just using this as an example. So typically someone who's rich, they have a lot of access to partners. They can kind of pick and choose. Usually they want to pick the ones who, most attractive, things of that nature. So 9 times out of 10, if you're with someone who is rich, you probably should be keeping your looks up to par, to the best of your ability, your grooming, how you take care of yourself, right? To keep this individual's attention. Why? Because they have a lot of options. Right? Because of their performance in life, in business. Okay? So what if someone, they may not want to put all of that time, energy, and effort into keeping themselves looking a certain way. Right? So my point is, you want to make sure that you are the type of person to attract and properly, accurately augment or fit yourself into the life of whatever type of individual that you want. So think about that. You want a spiritual person, you probably got to be, your spiritual awareness has to be at a certain point. You want someone who is, highly proficient in business, making money, things of that nature. You probably need to be someone who, can be a value add to this individual's life. Okay? All right? So think about these things. All right? Whatever type of person you want, you want someone who has a nice body, they're well-groomed, well-spoken, they're intellectual. You probably need to be well-groomed, well-spoken, intellectual. Make sense? So think about that. See, a lot of times we just think about it one way. Oh, I want a person that's going to treat me like this. I want a person that's going to treat me like that. Great. But then you got to think, am I the type of person to attract someone like this? Do I treat people in this type of way? Or do I treat myself in a certain way? So think about that. Think about the type of partner you desire, the type of life you want, the type of family you want, and then start to prepare yourself to step into that. Okay? All right? One of the best things you can do while being single is to get better. Work on yourself. Work on becoming a better version of yourself, intellectually, spiritually, physically, financially. If you're a man, work on what it means to be a man. Work on your manhood. Work on your emotional management. Work on your communication. Work on your ability to listen, problem solve. Okay? Work on your grooming, your physical appearance. Okay? Educate yourself so that when you come into a relationship, you have value to offer. You can teach your partner something. If you're a woman, same thing. Work on yourself. Work on your physical appearance. All right? Work on, hey, how can I raise my feminine energy so that when I find this man, right, this man, he's a man's man, my, feminine energy goes right in tandem with his masculine energy. Get it? Right? So when you are single, realize there is great value in that phase in your life. Don't squander it by just saying, oh, I need someone. I gotta be with someone. Oh, well, I'm not with it. I'm single. I gotta quickly find someone. No, sit there and get in the oven. Bake, marinate, get better. Work on yourself. And to the degree that you work on yourself, right, the higher up the, let's just say totem pole, or the higher up that you work on yourself as far as capacity, the higher up you are positioning yourself to attract someone of an equal capacity. That can be your motivation. All right? So just pick, what area in my life would I want to improve? Do I want to improve who I am as a man? Do I want to improve who I am as a woman? Do I want to improve me learning how to just be at peace with myself, love myself? Maybe I don't feel too good about myself because of what was told to me and how I was treated in my childhood. All right, so then we need to work on that. Let's take advantage of this information age and tap into the plethora of resources that are out here for anything that you could ever want to learn about. All type of information on how to heal from childhood trauma. All type of information out here on how to be a great wife, a great husband. All type of information out here on how to raise and increase your femininity, how to raise and increase your masculinity. What does that mean? Find out, learn about that, so that you as a man, you understand the masculine energy that can come into this woman's life and benefit her and balance her out to get the best result from her. If you're a woman, you understand the feminine energy that you can bring to this man's life to get the outcome or the result from him that you want. Learn how to talk to this man right. Learn how to talk to this woman right. Okay? So use being single as a time to get better, educate yourself. That is the message today. I have a lot of clients who struggle in this area. They're single. Some are just too hasty to get in a relationship. Okay? And then those who are not hasty to get in a relationship, they don't know how to be comfortable being single. And I share, hey, while you're home by yourself, find a book, find some information that is feeding you, that's resonating with you, making your time at home, a valuable one, an enjoyable one. Why? Because you're hearing information that is elevating your outlook on life. I had a great individual tell me one time, he said, Stephen, be spirit-led in your reading. Be spirit-led in your reading. That means, okay, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So some of you may be thinking right now, I don't know what to read. I don't know what type of information to tap into. Yeah, you say it's the information age, but what information do I start with? Where do I start? Okay, so listen, all you got to do is just have a posture or an energy of being ready to be taught. Have a student posture. And once you just have that posture or that energy about yourself, okay, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the information will appear that student is in need of. Okay? You can go onto Amazon, you can go onto YouTube right now and just type in a topic that you are interested in increasing your knowledge and understanding about. And see what comes up. See what books come up. See what lectures come up. Okay? So you have to understand that the same mind that got you to where you are right now cannot be the same mind that's going to get you to where you want to be. So you have to expose yourself to new ideas, new perspectives that align with the lifestyle that you want. How do you do that? Find someone who is accomplished in the area that you desire to be accomplished at, right? That resonates with you, and study them. Study their mindset. See, they're just living this life that you desire because they have a different outlook. They have a different approach to life than you. So you need to learn what is the approach needed to obtain the experience that I want. Find someone, study them. Okay? Drop your comments in the comment section if you have any further questions about this, being single and being happy. Share this out to other people that you know who are single and struggling to be in that space. Share it out. All right? And thank you for tapping in to another episode of the Insightful Living channel. I love you. All right? All the best to you. Peace.